When I saw the synopsis for this week's episode of My Adventures with Superman, I thought, okay, heist episode, all right. I have this really cool Mission Impossible intro I've been wanting to use for a little while. I said, all right, I can use it for this. And then I took a look at the episode and I thought, nah, I'm not wasting that Mission Impossible intro on this shit. So no other way to really pretend when it comes to this other than to just dive into the absolute crap fest that this episode was, because I tell you, boy, just when you thought good old Soups in Space getting brain jacked was, and probably most likely tortured, was probably, as bad as it could get. No, the idiots left on Earth after show, hey, we can be even more stupid than that. Let's dive into this. So it literally starts off with Amanda Waller, who apparently at this point, they have literally turned in to her current DC comic book version. You understand me? She is having a press conference talking about how Superman is not a threat. He's an alien menace, and he's the vanguard of this invasion that is to come. And people are looking at this thing as she does it there, and she's talking and she's saying that they have a solution. The human some human military something or another, as they call it, and they're going to stop Superman here because, right, Human Defense Corps. And it's basically what this boils down to is that she has declared martial law on Metropolis and has robots and military guards and things going around. It have curfew, people can't be outside, all kind of drama and all of this stuff she is going out there to do, right? Because that's what's actually happening. So she ends up on this talk show to talk about this whole, Superman is a threat thing and all of this stuff. And the reporter says that the footage that she showed is only pieces and clips that they put together, but they have actual footage of it, which they're going to show now. And she immediately shuts him down and says, that's classified, and literally has soldiers take the man away. And I am like, seriously, you cannot just declare martial law on an entire city like that, like it's literally closing a mall. It doesn't work like that. The mayor needs to be notified. The president has to be notified. These things have to go through channels. But apparently they just want everybody to be as completely stupid as possible. And let's figure, well, that's supposed to be happening because she's the most powerful black woman imaginable. So that's what's going on. This is literally dictatorship, and apparently it's supposed to be okay. And then we get to Lois Pain in the ass Lane, who basically is, she tries to do something, and then she immediately starts with the me, I, me, I have to do something. I have to get back, Clark. He needs to know this. I have to get this. It's all up to me, I. I mean, spare a thought for the people living under martial law in Metropolis. Now, for God's sakes, you freaking selfish. Oh, God. I'm telling you, it hasn't, her attitude has not changed since season 1. If anything, it's just gotten worse. Honestly, just gotten worse. And we have Jimmy Olsen here, who's about as useful as air at this point in time. Right. So she has a plan. Lois has a plan. They need to go and steal Star Labs' experimental spaceship thing that they have, right? And the person who they want to help them steal that is Livewire. And Jimmy is obviously asking her if she's crazy because Livewire, and she says she checked all her sources and found Livewire's last known address. Last time I checked, her sources were the children that the Daily Planet hired, but okay. And this brings me to another point of how Amanda Waller is an idiot. You don't think maybe you should have rounded up some of these dangerous supervillains that are out there that you and your organization helped create? But no, perfectly fine to just leave them out there. So Jimmy agrees to help her. They go to look for Livewire. And the thing is, when they go to look for where Livewire is, this is where she's apparently living. And I'm using she selectively, you'll understand why shortly. Because apparently Livewire is set up in better digs than either one of them could afford. Because, apparently crime really does pay. So she puts on the thing, they contact Livewire, and Livewire is like, what are you doing here? And all of this stuff and all of this madness, and they start, and then she wants to it off. And yeah. This is I think a heat wave. It is there with Livewire. And could somebody please tell me, because maybe I am just completely wrong here, but could somebody please tell me how this does not look like two gay guys living together in an apartment? Tell me. Because I honestly want to know how this does not look like two gay guys living in an apartment. Seriously, because nothing about either one of them screams feminine. Honestly, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, these are two dudes. I mean, they don't even really have breasts. This look more like pecs, to be honest with you. Seriously, I don't even know what the hell it is. Really, I really have no idea what in God's name this is supposed to be. And, then they're rambling on there, and Lois wants them to help them break into the Star Labs to steal the thing. And I'm telling you, seriously, how does this not look like two gay guys in a place living? It just doesn't with me. Honestly, this does not sit with me at all, how this could be anything but that, but whatever. And then Jimmy, remember how I've been saying on the very beginning that Jimmy is going to be broke before this is over? Well, yeah, he had like $2 million remaining and decides to give all of it to Livewire in order for her to help him. Now, this may seem to you like, okay, this is selfless. He's giving up his money to help save his friend. Not a problem with it. Okay, not a problem. Except this whole thing makes no sense, and you'll understand why later on in this. But what would have made much more sense was if Amanda Waller had any kind of common sense at all and decided to round up the criminals, and Lois and Jimmy had broken them out and told them that, we're setting you free with the intention of you helping us, get this rocket, this spaceship to leave, and also you could get a chance to stick it to Amanda Waller. That would have been a little more realistic, but no, let's pay them to help us in some cockamamie scheme that is obviously going to go wrong. So yeah, they come in there and whatnot, and of course, this is going to shock you all, but you might want to sit down for this, right? You might want to sit down, right? The two of them are the two biggest butchest lesbians imaginable and in a relationship. Because that is somehow supposed to make sense. We've never seen these two interact with each other outside of being captured by Task Force X and forced to go after Superman. That was it. Understand me? We saw nothing about them ever knowing each other, interact with each other, anything like that. But no, apparently they live together and stuff. And when it is Heatwave tells Livewire that, this is crazy, we need to walk away. Livewire tells Heatwave that this could be it for us. This money could set us up. We could leave, buy a farm, because everybody wants a freaking farm. Anyway, yeah, and this is supposed to somehow be something we're supposed to care about. Let's happen to throw these two butch dudes together, because I'm still not convinced that these are women. I'm telling you, I'm still not convinced. Nothing here looks feminine at all to me. Nothing. Nothing at all. So yeah. So Heatwave tells Livewire that she doesn't know when to walk away, but she does, and she leaves. So Lois is all you and Heatwave, and then Livewire is not split, and Livewire is that we're not splitting we're not splitting the take. So anyway, so right. So before I even get to that, they need to get this. They need to get this this rocket. Livewire tells them that she could get them in, but the technical stuff and things she can't do that. They need somebody else. So Jimmy says, "Oh yeah, he knows some people, and who does he know? Measure, Mala, and Brain. Because last time we saw these two, and I'm just gonna say these two freaks they left because one is a gorilla, one is a brain in a bowl, and apparently now they're married and engaged in some kind of weird whatnot and the other. So what happened with them? Right? What happened with them is that they went out to explore the multiverse. Because their whole thing was they wanted to find some world where they would be together and accepted and nobody would bother them and all kind of thing. They travel all over the multiverse because, the multiverse has to ruin everything. And while they travel all over the multiverse, they found different versions of the two of them because apparently that happens in every disturbing universe imaginable. And when they went to one universe, they apparently tried to rebuild a portal thing and the alternates beat the crap out of them, so they had to run back to their own dimension. And that's how they came back here. Yeah, way to bring them back in just like that. And apparently they've been having tea with Jimmy every so often. I mean, you couldn't put it like maybe they left Jimmy with some kind of signal device to contact them. It works across dimensions, but it could only be used once, so he uses it and they show up. Something like that. No, they just happen to be back in time for this crap. So Livewire comes up with this plan of how they're going to break in involving this guard, and the guard goes to see his grandmother at this nursing home every time, and she gets his fingerprints for them to sneak in. All of that is there. Then Measure, Mala, and Brain will hack these systems, loop the recording so that the monitors don't show them. Then they will go and get the rocket. They will take off, and that will be the end of it. But on the unlikely event that doesn't happen, they have Plan B, and this is Plan B. And literally, this image shows everything that is wrong with this episode and probably this entire series, honestly, because I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. You understand me? And again, these look like two dudes. Please tell me if I'm wrong, if somebody sees some inkling of femininity in this. I don't know about. Fine. Mala and Brain look absolutely stupid. And you know what Lois looks like here? You ever saw those cartoons from years ago where like some kid would have this fantasy of going on some really big adventure or something, and they would be shooting off guns that they would never be allowed to use otherwise? That's exactly what this looks like. This doesn't even look like Lois. This looks like some 12-year-old boy shooting on guns that he never could work with. I mean, the whole tomboy Lois Lane thing was cute at first and the other, but there is a way to make a tomboy look cute and look interesting and all that. No. They seem to have abandoned that, and now Lois just looks like a 12-year-old boy running around, and it's very creepy. It's really, really very creepy. I'm telling you, this image is everything that's freaking wrong with all of this. And the only person who has any kind of objection to them shooting up something is Jimmy. Well, Jimmy is like, when they need to do something, you have to hurt people, and Livewire is all, listen, Superman isn't here anymore. You have to get your hands dirty to get things done. At this time, man, seriously, still looks like a man, but whatever. So they go to get things done now, and then Livewire opens up this compartment in her wall and has like this a whole armory of weapons. Literally, this whole armory of weapons, enough to like literally take out half the city if need be. And this is I'm telling you why these weapons are important. We'll get to us later on in this, but keep in mind the weapons. Keep the weapons in mind. So yeah. So Jimmy and Lois are talking about what they should do when they encounter Kara again, because they need to do something in regards to if she tries to stop them. Lois has kryptonite, and Jimmy tells her, you don't need to use that. We could talk to her, all of this, and she's all, no, we gotta do this, and he tries to tell her she's not a bad person, all of this stuff, whatever. So then we get to Star Labs now. And Waller shows up to see what Luther's working on for a surprise inspection. And Wayne Wilson, aka Deathstroke, is there. And his behavior is beyond disturbing, because he shows up there and like, that wouldn't be the point of a surprise inspection. And he keeps acting like, I want to be mommy's favorite, but you're mommy's favorite, so I'm going to constantly keep poking at you so mommy sees how bad you are, and then you know what? Mommy's going to love me again. That's exactly what his attitude is like. To the point where that's bloody disturbing. Honestly. Absolutely bloody disturbing. He's behaving like if Waller is his mommy or some freaking thing. And they show up there. Right, they're looking to go into the break into the lab there because they have this perfect heist plan that is absolute crap. When they're waiting for the guy to change shifts, now turns out he's working at double. So that's one thing in there wrong with them, because none of these idiots check to see his working schedule. That's the first problem. So when Livewire is about to electrocute him and take him out, Jimmy goes out there to talk to him, pretends to be this guy and actually uses his real name. But Jimmy actually diffuses the situation, and I will give credit for that. He talks the guy down, tells him how, his grandmother is also at the nursing home and thing, and then, convinces the guy that, he will take over his shift so he could go and see his grandma. And the guy's like, okay, thanks, no problem. And they get it done. They literally get it done, and I'm like, okay, score one for Jimmy there. He did what he did. One of the key factors when it comes to spycraft. You don't have to take out everybody. You could talk to people. It works better that way. Meanwhile, now the gorilla and robot are trying to hack into the surveillance system, but they have changed. They have upgraded their security, and they can't get in. When they do eventually loop the feed now, it has a glitch, and Waller notices it, and immediately orders are locked down, so they all have to run now as they're getting stuff. Wade Wilson comes after them. Livewire could now apparently use some kind of electric force field thing around her. They're running there. All of this is going on. So Lex activates these robot things that they have built in here, and Waller tells him to send them out. They send them out there. They're still running, and then Livewire leaves them behind and is like, sorry, but Heatwave was right. I do know when to cut out. And she decides to leave them. Gee, I wonder if she'll come back at the end and save them. Maybe. God, there's absolutely no surprises in this one at all. So when they're about to get captured like the idiots that they are, Mala and Brain pull them into the ventilation system, which Wade Wilson doesn't even bother to look up and see. And they're in there, and Lois is in there, and again she starts her shit. Oh, when I get my hands on Kara, this is all her fault. She's to blame for all of this. And Jimmy's like, no, she isn't. She's a good person. And I'm like, yeah, you don't know Kara. What are you trying to blame her for anything? And she's all bad. And then she uses this line, Kara's our enemy. She kidnapped Clark, and they don't know what to do with him. Once you meet the enemy, you have to take them out. And then Jimmy says to her, "You're sounding like your father," and she's, "No, I'm not sounding like my father." But here you are saying Kara is an enemy. You need to take her out. You need to go after her because she kidnapped Clark and she attacked Clark and kidnapped him. I don't know what you think. Your father did the exact same thing to Superman. The exact same thing. And you demanded that Superman and Jimmy let him stay in their apartment. The same man who tortured and tried to kill him numerous times. But no, because you're selfish as the day is long, you understand me? You perfectly okay to do these things, but everybody else is a problem. I tell you, it's like every time with this Superman boy, every time. So they get in there, looking to go and get looking to go and get the ship, and the ship has major damage to it. Now, I shouldn't say damage. The ship is not complete. It needs parts, it needs wiring, it needs power, so everything. This is going to take at least a couple weeks worth of work to get done. I wonder how they're going to do it in seconds, but we'll get to that shortly. Lois then sits down there. "This is all my fault. I don't even know why I broke up with him. I was so scared that he was gonna leave me. I just decided to do it early because I just got scared. I didn't think he loved me enough." What exactly has Superman/Clark done to make you think he doesn't love you? If anything, he has been the one doing more to show he cares about you, and you've been doing nothing. I mean, literally. He's the one who saves you constantly. He's the one who sends you the little morning greetings, brings you gifts, initiates the kisses, always tells you how much he loves you. What do you do? Other than complain all the time, send his life into a tailspin, be a jealous, annoying bitch. And let's not forget, be a selfish, annoying bitch. That's what you do. You could have shown a little bit of appreciation of him. No. Because Silver St. Claude, let's take a look at her again. Yeah. I tell you, they draw that woman right, boy. Yeah. All right, let's back to it now. Yeah. Because she flirted with him a little bit, something you told him to act like he's completely single. You freaked out and decided that, you need to break up with him because everybody leaves you. Perhaps if you tried acting like an actual person and tried treating people with some respect, they wouldn't want to do that. But since you clearly don't care, so yeah, Marla and Brain show up and immediately fix the ship. Immediately start fixing the ship. When the robots show up, that Lex and start shooting at them. They turn on it into turn it on there, and they try to fix the ship to get it going and stuff. Things break in, and the thing about it is that the ship actually has to start like a car. I'm telling you, like, and they wouldn't get it. So when they finally get the ship activated now, and they look to the takeoff, the robots fly onto the ship and using their thrusters to hold it down so the ship can take off. Gee, I wonder if Livewire is going to show up and save them, because that's really the only possible thing that could happen. And what happens? Livewire shows up and saves them. What a shock. And Livewire isn't alone. You understand me? Heatwave is with her. And then we find out what their actual plan was, right? Their actual plan was to pretend to not go along with the plan that Jimmy and Lois had. And then while Waller and them were distracted with them, they and their actual crew was going to break into Star Labs and steal the weapons and things that were there. Now, here's why this plan makes no goddamn sense. Because remember what I told you before? Livewire has a whole arsenal of weapons. What do you need more for? Where are you going to sell them while the city is under lockdown? Why are there weapons at Star Labs to begin with? Wouldn't there be security there? How many times are these idiots going to steal from Waller and her cronies? What is the point of stealing weapons? All of this stuff. It makes no sense. Literally no sense. It could have worked. Honestly, had they actually done something better, like I said, with the whole, getting them out of prison kind of thing, and you're like, all right. But then you know what it is makes them not leave them behind? When they listen to Lois whining about how, she don't even know why she broke up with him and now she's not going to get a chance or that thing. They feel sorry and decide to come back. And then you get the most cringe-inducing moment I have seen in a long time. Livewire actually starts to tell Lois while they are destroying these robots' mind, you can't be afraid of love. You have to risk it. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes for the one you love. You have to be willing to go the distance. You have to be willing to really work for it and fight for what you want. And I'm like, aren't these people supposed to be criminals? What in God's name is this a Dr. Phil session? Why would you care about any of this? And they blast off and gone. And then, of course, the two biggest butches lesbians imaginable are in there, thing getting away. You understand me? And of course, they have to share a big lesbian kiss, because in case you didn't know, they're gay. You understand me? They're gay. Still think these are dudes, but whatever. Now, after all of this happens, now Wade Wilson comes in there and is all, this is a real disaster. And then Wallace says, this isn't a disaster, this is a success. These robots at only 10% power took on superpowered beings and almost stopped that ship. That's very impressive. Get to work, Lex. I want these at 100%. If you're trying to tell me these robots at 10% couldn't handle two butch lesbians with powers that you gave them, you really think when Brainiac shows up, this is going to turn out any better? Why not? Because apparently you're all idiots. And when that is done now, what does Lex say to Wilson? Oh, what did you say to Lane again? You're no longer mommy's favorite. And it's the truth. It is the absolute truth, because the whole time Wilson in this episode was just behaving like if Walla is his mommy and he needs to be number one so she could breastfeed him. That's the whole thing of what it was. And I was tired. It's like these people are not even pretending to act like how they're supposed to act. Not even pretending. So then after that, now the rest of these spacefaring morons go into space, open a portal, fly across space, and then they encounter, fly across space, and then they come back to where it is, where they come out there, and they encounter Kara, who stops the ship, and that's how they run into her, and that's the whole thing about it. The same thing that happened last time. That's how we get the end of this there. And that's it. That's the episode. I'm telling you, this episode was just ridiculous. There's no other way to put it. Absolutely ridiculous. On the face of it, absolutely ridiculous. It's the worst heist I've seen since the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and the whole trench coat stupid scene. The gay overload was unbelievable. The plan made no sense. Wade Wilson literally wanted to get breastfed by Amanda Waller was stupid. Livewire and Heatwave giving love advice like it's a Dr. Phil show with this absolute cringe nonsense. And I saw people trying so hard online to try and simp for this episode. Like, as somebody said, well, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it was still okay. No, the episode was horrible. My final rating for this episode of My Adventures with Superman Season 2, Episode 7, I give this one a 1.1 out of 5. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, give it a hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.